How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some incredibly spicy battles sent into the channel by Citizennate. So, huge thank you to him for sending these battles in, and if you're wondering right about now what in the world you're seeing on your screen, well, friends, let me tell you, this is the Taste the Rainbow Skittles Challenge. Now, Citizennate told me that what he did is he built a team for every color of the Skittles Rainbow and got one crazy win with each of those teams and then sent them in. So we have 6 battles to look at here, one for each color Skittle. And by the way, this is totally random, but is there actually a blue Skittle, guys? I was thinking back, I haven't eaten a Skittle in a very long time. This is not a Skittles ad, but I could not think, I don't think there is a blue Skittle. I could be wrong. Maybe at this point there probably is a blue Skittle of like some off flavor of Skittles, but I feel like the original Skittles were the red, orange, yellow, green, and purple, but correct me if I'm wrong. I could just be totally making that up, but either way, we're going to be taking a look at some very cool battles, and I have not watched these, by the way, so I have no idea what teams he's using, and the other reason why I didn't look at them is because I didn't feel like putting together 18 different Pokemon graphics, so rather I just put a bunch of Skittles on the screen. But either way, guys, I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching these. And in the first team here, we're seeing the red team, and he had a Crawdaunt into a Charm Clefable, and he brings in the Scolipede here, which is newly buffed, by the way. X-Scissor, as you saw in my last video, did get a buff, and it does do quite a bit more damage here. And oh my gosh, that does so much damage onto the Whiscash. Is this an under-level Whiscash? That X-Scissor did so much damage. Mud Bomb doesn't do that much, and actually, it's Mega Horn. That is why. Oh, that was actually a Mega Horn that landed there. I was totally not paying attention, guys. But Mega Horn looks like it actually might flip switch advantage now because the Whiscash no-shielded it, and now he can shield up and farm all the way down and has the Sludge Bomb ready for, looks like a Crobat that came in there. And this is actually a little bit scary still, but fortunately does get the shield with the Sludge Bomb. That would have been resisted, but the opponent did shield it, and now Crawdaunt should be able to shield one time here. No, gonna let this go, but Crawdaunt should be able to get this thing low enough to where hopefully the Ariados in the back can sweep, but this is actually a little scary still. Really needs to get this shield and then hope that a Cross Poison KOs, because these Air Slashes and Poison Fangs, excuse me, are really going to start adding up on the area. So does still have a shield, which is nice. Is he going to just let this go, calling a Poison Fang? No. Does shield it, but now I think he needs to overfarm because the Charm Clefable did do like 2 or 3 charms and does need to make sure he can get to 2 Cross Poisons before the opponent gets to a move. Does overfarm nicely there, and now, yeah, I think he should be fine here. If this was a Fairy Wind Clefable, it actually might have gotten pretty close, because I think they would have gotten to a Meteor Mash if they were on Fairy Wind, but no, they're on Charm, gets to the moves, throws on very nice timing as well, and wow, going to be a very nice win in the first battle here against a hard counter lead and a very difficult safe switch as well, but fortunately the Mega Horn takes the mid game there. And very nice win, excuse me, with the red team by Citizennate. So now we're moving into the orange team. Looks like we have Shadow Zard into Vic, and he has a, looks like Dragonite and an Alolan Raichu in the back. So very cool team. Catches what probably is going to be a Hydro Cannon onto the Dragonite here, and it's actually a Night Slash, and that still does so much damage. Oh my gosh. And is on Dragon Tail, it looks like. So at this point, I think you just shield up, stay in, farm all the way down, and will have a massive amount of energy loaded for, they really can't bring in that Vic because this will be, the Razor Leafs, excuse me, will be double resisted here and can easily now just throw this energy into the Poliwrath that comes in and probably will even make 2, I think, if they don't throw, and yeah, is going to make 2 just barely. No, actually gets farmed down. That is super unfortunate, but either way, can bring in the Alolan Raichu, and unless they're like a Mad Lad running Hydro Pump or something, can easily tank any one move here. It's the Dynamic Punch, and that still does a lot of damage, but now has the Zard still alive for the Vic. And at this point, you probably could even fully farm all the way down, but the opponent has 2 shields, so probably a better play here, like he's doing, to throw the move, make sure you get a shield, and now you could probably even farm all the way down and then double claw the Poliwrath, but no, gonna throw the move here, gonna shield up. I don't even think that the Poliwrath has any energy since they just threw their Dynamic Punch into the Alolan Raichu, but yeah, can throw the Claw here and then probably farm all the way down, have the move bank. They actually shielded that, but yeah, I think if they let that go, the Zard just wing attacks down the Poliwrath anyway. Yeah, they were on like 1 HP, so either way, the opponent was in a very difficult position there, but takes the orange team game there in style. blast, burning the low health Poliwrath, and that is a GG. So very cool battle so far by Citizennate. I really hope you guys are enjoying this. It's a really cool idea. I definitely never would have thought of doing this myself, but now we should be moving into the yellow battles here with the shiny Hypno, the Shadow Hypno looks like, and it looks like we have Ampharos and Ribombee in the back, and the opponent has an Ariados here. They're staying in, they're massively over farming, and they actually threw on terrible timing there. They were at the back-to-back moves, but since they threw on alignment, the confusion does go through, and they lose all of that energy, and the opponent has a Confusion Galarian Slowbro in the back, so very cool pick by the opponent, but Shadow Ball would be one-shotting, so the opponent respects it, and gonna build up to another Shadow Ball here. They haven't thrown yet, and they catch it onto a Whiscash, and honestly, this is totally fine, because the Ampharos in the back does not want to see this Whiscash. And what do you do here? I think you probably bring in the Ribombee, because the bug typing will be resisting ground, but no, actually going to stay in here, recognizes he can take a Mud Bomb here. And is he just going to commit to the Shadow Ball? Yeah, going to commit to the Shadow Ball here, recognizing he could live that. And does the opponent want to give up their last shield here? And it looks like they don't. They actually don't give up the last shield. And now you can just align the Ribombee here to the Slowbro. And I think a Bug Buzz will probably one-shot. This is a very unique Pokemon, by the way. Ribombee is a Fairy and Bug-type Pokemon. And it has Fairy Wind as well, which means that it charges very, very quickly. And I think he should probably make 2 Bug Buzzes that the opponent tries to farm down. If they throw in the energy, that is totally fine, because then Ampharos can come in and probably Brutal Swing this thing, but no, they tried to farm down, recognizing they were in a really difficult position, and he makes the second Bug Buzz, excuse me. I cannot talk, guys. I'm still just, like, overwhelmed from that, that Mega Horn nearly one-shotting that Whiscash. And it has me in absolute shambles, but very nicely played there in Game 3 by Citizennate. And now we are moving into the green team here. It looks like we have Charjabug, Shiny Machamp, and Ludicolo. So very cool team. And the opponent is leading a Galvantula. So it's the battle of the Bug Electric types. Who will come out victorious? I think the Gal probably does win all even shields here, just because the Charjabug doesn't hit super hard, and they will get outpaced. Now that Spark got a nerf in terms of energy, he will get outpaced here. And do you shield here, or do you just let it go and then farm down with one of your back Pokemon? And it looks like he is going to let the Charjabug go down. Probably going to bring in the Machamp here. Yeah, brings in the Machamp, fully going to farm them down. And it looks like he's actually on Payback as well. And actually on Payback and Dynamic Punch. Oh my gosh. Please, Lord, we have to see this Payback land. Unfortunately, he doesn't throw it. And now that he doesn't throw it right away, they get the Surf off. So now, since he's super low, they're probably going to be inclined to shield, which is really unfortunate. Are they going to shield this up? And they do shield it. Super heartbreaking there, honestly, guys. I really wanted to see that land. And they've got a Hitmontop in the back. And Hitmontop did also get a buff. And the question is, do they respect the Leaf Storm? They're already down a shield. And they don't respect it. It does so much damage. It doesn't quite one-shot. But unfortunately, he is going to have to commit his shield here. And now the Jellicent, now that he's debuffed here, I'm not sure. I think a debuffed Leaf Storm probably just barely doesn't KO. But this is going to be a little bit tricky because the Jellicent does have energy. And I think since they did have a little bit of energy, they actually will outpace to another Leaf Storm. Does actually throw the Leaf Storm there. They do shield it. And now I think this is all going to come down to a catch on the Machamp, guys. Has to switch out anyway to reset the debuff. Is he counting? And yes, he is. He catches the move onto the low house Shiny Machamp. Beautifully done by Citizennate. And not only that, but he's also reset that debuff. And now this Leaf Storm is absolutely going to be one-shotting this Jellicent. Perfect gameplay by Citizennate there. Recognizes he would get outpaced. Recognizes he needed to reset that debuff. And is going to win the green team battles there in style. Very nicely done. Moving into the blue team battles, guys. We're already almost at the end of the video. We've only got 2 battles left. I did slow them down a little bit. Hopefully it's not too slow for you guys, but we have an Umbreon here in the next battle and has a shiny Miltank here, shiny Gligar, and it looks like a shiny Nidoking in the back. So super cool team by Citizennate. Does actually elect to switch into the Gligar. Not a terrible matchup for Miltank. I guess it makes sense though, because if you look at his team comp, he's weak to fighting on the lead and has 2 good answers to fighting in the back. So it makes sense he's trying to draw out a potential fighter in the back or a potential answer to the back line, which is also double ground. I guess they wouldn't be drawing out the fighter, but has to check to see, I guess, if they have like an ice type in the back. So brings in the Gligar. They're staying in here, which tells us they probably are weak and back to the Gligar, which hopefully means they're weak and back to the Nidoking. So the Umbreon is staying in. They're on Dark Pulse, so actually outpaces to another dig. And this will KO if the opponent decides not to shield, and they do just elect to fully let their Umbreon go down. So has switch advantage now, and I like this play. Is just going to stay in here. Can now align the Nidoking to this, but no. Actually going to bring in the Miltank here, and they have a Medicham in the back. This is looking very, very tricky because Nidoking doesn't have the best Medicham matchup. I guess it really is dependent on the moveset, but if they're running Double Kick, which I believe is the preferred move now, Double Kick Nidoking doesn't have the best Medicham matchup, so is staying in here, throwing these body slams for some chip damage here, and gonna have to play this very carefully in order to have any chance of winning this game. Does actually barely get outpaced to the move. Is he gonna let the Miltank go down? Yes, he is, and hopefully this chip damage has put them into range where an Earth Power KOs, and actually it's a Shadow Nidoking. It's a Shadow Nidoking, and it is running double nukes of Earth Power and Sludge Wave. So this is going to be very close endgame. Does actually correctly shield a Psychic, which is massive, and throws the Earth Power on what looks like it was a CMP tie here. It'd be really nice if they let this go, actually, and they do shield it up, and it is CMP. Hopefully this is another Psychic. This is actually looking a little rough, guys. The Muck has energy. I'm not sure if he's quite in Dark Pulse range, but yeah, they can just come in Dark Pulse, and I'm not sure the Nidoking can tank this, unfortunately, since it's a Shadow. And no, they Acid Sprayed there. They got scared of the energy on the Nidoking, and this is perfect. Citizennate recognizes he can now massively overfarm to the basically 100 energy here. I think this was even a CMP tie, and now one-shots the Muck with the Earth Power. And thanks to that beautiful overfarm, is now going to one-shot the Medicham with the Earth Power. And that is going to be a somehow improbable victory there with the blue team. So very nicely played. The opponent there should have definitely just committed to the Dark Pulse. If they commit to the Dark Pulse, they force him to throw his energy, and then the Medicham outpaces in the back. But either way, he will absolutely take that. As we move into the final battle with the purple team, looks like we have Shadow Venomoth, Shadow Omastar, or Shiny Omastar, excuse me, and looked like a Galarian Rapidash in the back, so has a very nice lead here against the Greninja, but unfortunately, Greninja is just so incredibly spammy that it's already at 2 charge moves, and it looks like Venomoth is on Infestation and Poison Fang, and now has to hope that after this Poison Fang, 2 more Infestations will KO, otherwise the Greninja will make another move, and yes, perfectly farms down there, recognizes he needed that Poison Fang to fully farm them down, and they bring a Venusaur into the Venomoth. Oh my gosh, this is definitely not an answer whatsoever to Venomoth, and goes for the Poison Fang, throwing out very nice timing, throwing after 1 fast move, and this honestly might KO here if they don't shield it. It barely doesn't KO, but he gets the farm down. Shadow Venomoth has taken out 2 full health Pokemon. They've got a Shadow Walrein in the back, and throws on very nice timing here, and at this point, I think you just stay in here and let them farm you down. That way you have an option to potentially catch later on. And yeah, because oh, actually it's an Omanite. It's not an Omastar, it's an Omanite. And now gonna bring in the Galarian Rapidash, maybe just to force them to throw and then put it all on the Omanite in the back. And that's exactly what he does. Earthquake almost one-shots from full health, and now Omanite has to outpace this Walrein to an Earthquake. Can he do it? Yes, he does. The shiny Omanite makes the Ancient Power just before the Walrein makes another Earthquake, and that is going to be a good game. Wow, crazy team there. That's a best buddy shiny Omanite, guys. Originally, I thought that was a shiny Omastar, but that is super cool pick by Citizennate. So very cool battles by him. Huge thank you to him for sending in the battles, guys. Super cool idea, honestly. I haven't really shoutcasted like a themed type thing like this, but this is a really cool idea. So if you guys have something like this in the future that you want to send into me, make sure you check out my battle submission form. It is in the description. And if you want to come check me out on Discord as well, that link will be in the description. And finally, if you have some cool battles that you want to send in for the top wins of the month, make sure you check out that form in the description as well. And that being said, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you're enjoying my content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.